What is up, everybody? We are here today because I actually want to teach y'all how to do a ceiling shot. Now, I've never done one of these how-to videos, so I don't know the best way about going about it, but I have been trying to teach several people that I know very personally how to do a ceiling shot. And before anything is said, the alpha boost actually is through alpha console, but I do have an alpha cap. Anyway, moving on. So, the best way about doing a ceiling shot, I'm actually gonna do... This is terrible. But what I'm actually gonna do is grab one of my clips from a saved game, because I do these shots best under pressure. Now, before anything else, I am not a freestyler. This is just the shot of choice for me. This is the shot I know probably the best. I don't know how to dribble. I don't know how to do a lot of things. But if there's one shot I've learned how to do, it is this one. So let's get into the lesson. Alright, so the first step to any good ceiling shot is the approach. So I'm actually just taking an in-game clip. It's just pretty much your basic average ceiling shot. Now, you could pretty much pull this off, I wouldn't say any moment of the game, but you can look for the best opportunity. Anyway, we're going to get more into the how to do it in-game, best moments, everything like that later. Right now, we're just looking at the steps on how to do it. Now, normally for a ceiling shot, I would always highly recommend waiting for the ball to be just above this Rocket League sign, just to be able to give it the right pop. For me, I've been doing this shot for years, so I can kind of play with that line a little bit, as you'll see here. But either way, when you're going for a ceiling shot, you always want to come at it with not a lot of speed. So we'll kind of go at it with full. Just hit the brake, and from there, it's all timing. So notice here, as I let off boost, I just kind of let the car go, and then I boost as soon as that ball comes off the wall. My boost is enacted. I'm ready to go, because I have to get up to this ceiling and in position for the shot before the ball starts to drop. As you can see here, I've even come off the ceiling at this point. By the time the ball gets in position, it's still floating. I'm on the sidewall. At this point, you're lining up your shot. You have to calculate where, when, and how you're coming off the wall. Now, with coming off the ceiling, you have three options. You can do the waiting method, where you just fall off the wall, which, if you have the time, if the ball's not dropping very well and it's just going a little slower, you have that time to more calculate your shot. Now, if you're trying to be speedy with it, be as fast as possible, my bet, and as accurate as possible, you drift off the ceiling. Now, a lot of people don't know that when you drift on the ceiling, it immediately drops you. Now, pretty much the fastest way about going about it is jumping off the ceiling. But the problem with jumping off the ceiling is that limits you to 2 seconds on calculating your flip. So here, I just let myself fall off. Then we get to the absolute hardest part of the ceiling shot itself. Is where to hit the ball and what to do in this moment. So when you're going through with a ceiling shot, it all comes into power. Everything. Ball placement, power, everything. In that one moment, you have to decide where, how, when. Now, when you get to the point of being as good of a ceiling shot as some of these pro players like Squishy, everybody like that, You'll be able to do flip resets, everything like. No, we're talking about a regular ceiling shot just for now. When it comes to later in game, I'll go over a more sophisticated type of ceiling shot. But for now, we're going to stick to the regular basic ceiling shot. So for me, I've decided to opt in this moment. You got one guy in the corner here. One guy has decided to challenge extremely late. And then you have your third rotating back. Now, probably the best placement for me to put it would be somewhere in the top. So, what I would be looking for is more right above that blue. I really don't know what to call these things, so we'll call it the blue orb. I completely forgot where I hit it. Anyway, so generally, let's watch it in full view. Now there, I put it in center net, which is generally easy to block. But what set that shot so far apart from being able to block it is the amount of power I put into it. Now, I can't remember exactly how fast I put the ball in, but he didn't exactly challenge it either. So, let's cut into a more sophisticated ceiling shot. Alright, so this ceiling shot, we're going to more look for doing it in a game under pressure. So here, I don't have time for the setup, anything. I actually wait for their team to set it up for me. Now, being able to calculate this kind of stuff on the fly, it just comes with the comfortability of the shot. So once you've pretty much mastered the first steps of what I taught you in the first clip, this is where stuff like this becomes on the fly learning. Because I could sit here and tell you how to easy tricks, everything like that. I promise you, none of them will work. At this point, everything is on the fly. You have to know how the ball is going to react. You have to know how much power to put on it. Because at this point, it's not your traditional ceiling shot. For this, it's nothing but a nudge and being able to control your car on the sidewall. Now, at that point, just that little nudge. If I could go back like just a second and a half. There probably is a way, but we're going to try and... So where I'm hit, just to kind of give you a perspective on it. Oh, wait, nope, I'm looking... Damn. Yeah, I suck at looking at these replays. Okay, here we go. This is what I was looking for, I think. Alright, see how I position my car under the ball, even in the later trajectory. Just that little notch up, just like you saw me do with the first ceiling shot. Hit it in the exact same motion, because you just kind of, if you just kind of beat into the ball, you'll be looking at a double touch, which is not too comfortable for me at this point in time. I don't know why. Anyway. Oh my god, I suck at this. Anyway. So, after that, it becomes a traditional ceiling shot. Just being able to get to that ball as fast as possible. Okay, let's see if we can get back on my point of view. Okay, here we go. And at this rate, you have to be a lot faster to the ball. As I was talking about, there's 3 ways of coming off the ceiling when doing one of these shots. In this moment, I didn't have the time to drift. I didn't have the time to wait. So I jumped. As soon as that ball touches the roof again, if you get into that position, You lose the first two. You lose the first two options, and jumping is your only option of challenging the ball, or you put your team in a very, very disgruntled position. Anyway, that's really what I have to say about doing an actual ceiling shot in an actual game. So let's cut into something. Yeah, I suck. I know. Let's cut into something a little more, let's call it sophisticated. Alright, so we have done a waiting ceiling shot. We've done a jumping off the roof ceiling shot. Now this right here is really the only example of me drifting off the roof I could find. Now, I have said that the drifting version is probably the best way. But, unfortunately, in this one, it makes it look like the hardest option. Now, I've already shown you the setup, but just to go over it one more time, because I believe I did get it over the line this time, yep, which makes it the easiest. Now, the reason I say it's the easiest is because you have a lot more time to angle your ball in just the exact way you want it to come off the ceiling and get that nice float. Now let's see how I screw it up from here. Now when you drift off the ceiling, I probably should have noted this right after, but just hold the box button. Do not hold your analog, or you will get this outcome. Now, it's not that the outcome is terrible or that it's that the outcome is terrible. Mainly because I lost everything. I lost control of my shot. I lost control of pretty much the entire situation. Now, the only thing that saved me with this shot is the air roll. Because at this point, I really only had one option. I had to get it right in between the two with as much power as I possibly could muster. Now in this position, with a flip, I'm going to end up hitting it with the bottom of my car, canceling every ounce of power. Unfortunately enough for us though, the defenders weren't in motion and couldn't react in time. But that's just leading us to the biggest thing about a ceiling shot. The reason ceiling shots are so predominant to learn is because they are very powerful shots. Now, I wouldn't recommend learning any other shot. This shot is actually the only reason I'm in the position I am in today. I'll say it every time. I'll say it every time because I was a plat for the longest time until I learned that I actually met a buddy who taught me this shot. Unfortunately, we don't speak too much anymore, but this is now my favorite shot. Let's cut back into training. So the point of this video, the point of why this shot is not just the shot by itself. It's what this shot teaches you in the process. This shot teaches you everything from boost control to driving on the wall to driving on the ceiling and just being comfortable with everything on that par. That's why this is probably the highest recommended shot I can tell anybody to learn. Now, I know I can be wrong. Professionals have taught everybody, hey, you don't need these crazy mechanics. You can just do it by yourself. You just got to learn how to rotate. You just put your shots on. Now, that's all true. In all fairness, there's nothing wrong said in those videos. But what they do neglect to mention is that learning mechanics, learning stuff like this, makes it a hell of a lot easier. Now, I will say, with mechanics like this, the biggest tool you can learn after learning these, any kind of mechanics, anything like this, is definitely moderation. Never just fully ball chase because, hey, I learned this new mechanic. This is, I want to score a crazy shot on some people. It'll happen. Trust me. You wait you wait for your opportune moments, and it'll all come to you. Do not just chase the ball. Do not just steal the ball from your teammate just because you think you can, and then trust me. Wait for the opportune moments. Moderation is the biggest key with mechanics like this. But anyways, guys, I hope this was helpful to at least some of you. If I didn't go over it well enough with y'all, let me know in the description. Well, not description. God, I suck. Let me know in the comments. Let me know. I'll take it down. I'll redo it. If you did like it, if it did good for you, please let me know. If this does well enough, I will do a flip reset video. Probably won't be in the same week because I do not feel as comfortable with a flip reset as I do with the ceiling shot. But this is all the time for the day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and please drop the comments. I would love to hear from y'all. Till then, till next time, peace out.